We are getting ready to experience Dia de los Muertos / Halloween
como extranjera in Mexico. Good morning, sunshine. So we're back in Mexico, and this would be our second Dia de los Muertos. It's almost, we're going on our second year of being here. Last year we learned how about family the holiday is. They go to the Panteon as a family to welcome their past ones back to spend the afternoon with them. And parades and activities are really only done in big cities, which we do not live in. So this year, I am taking my multicultural background, Venezuelan, Cuban, Argentinian, American, Honduran, and with a little sprinkle of Mexican that I've learned of, and throwing a little soiree. I do want to thank everybody that gave me so much love for my last video. I am feeling better, much better, especially being back in Mexico. I almost feel back to normal, which is pretty good. And if you're new to me, hi, I'm Karen, and me and my daughters, hi. The other one's missing.
She stayed home.
But I have 2 daughters, and we've been traveling full time for almost 5 years. We explore very slowly to give us time to get to know the culture. So in this case, what I got to know about Dia de los Muertos made me think that it's not something that I need to necessarily be part of, but just respect and enjoy como extranjera.
I find some traditions are universal, and I feel like candles are like that. My mom would always light a candle when there was something special happening, or if she wanted a specific result for something. I light a candle every morning to set my intentions.
So we're buying decorations and making costumes and preparing for the party.
Now I came to the mercado specifically to buy some Mexican desserts and decorations. So desserts and flowers, those are 2 things that I've learned from the culture here are very traditional for when they create their altars. Now I'm not creating an altar this year. I did create one last year, but I still wanted to have Mexican culture represented for our party somehow. And these are just beautiful. We take our costuming very serious, and we have not been able to find tights, so we're kind of excited here.
So I was enchanted by the sugar skulls and I ran out of money. So we're gonna get as many flowers as we can with 200 pesos I have left.
So when going to the market, you always need to take cash. And I thought I had taken out enough cash. Apparently I did not. So by this point I was kind of out.
Found some flowers. Thank you, George, for my juice today.
And thank you guys for all the support. It means the world to me. Luckily, 200 pesos got me a lot of flowers.
Okay, we're ready.
So now we get to go home and see what we can do with them, I guess.
Make it. Okay, they seem alright. These make it. They did. They didn't melt. Yay. This is what we got. They're so cute. I should have taken more cash, but I love you. So I didn't take you guys fabric shopping. But I do need more tools, so I might take you on that.
So costuming has always been part of my life. In Venezuela, we have Carnaval, and my aunt and my mom would make the best costumes ever. I always had the best costume, of course. And when we moved to the United States, Halloween kind of took place of Carnaval, and when my kids were born, obviously I had to carry on the tradition, and they had to have the best costumes. I actually went to college for fashion design and high school, so I can not only sew, but I can create patterns and drape and make your wedding dress if you ever wanted. So as we stay here, the one thing that the girls really wanted was to have awesome costumes for Halloween / Dia de los Muertos. So that's what we're doing. But there's always the con and the reason I don't do it as a business anymore. Love and hate relationship with sewing. Same with cake making and any kind of tinkering project that I'm really good at. It's just, I love creating, but I hate time restraints. Okay, work in progress. Excuse me, I am a little sleep deprived, but tomorrow's the party. So I woke up today and I thought I prep everything. So I don't have an oven. I only have a little toaster oven. So a friend of mine is gonna lend me his oven, and I'm super excited because I haven't been able to make like baked goods since I moved to Mexico. I only get to do them when I'm in Miami. So I am kind of excited about this, and it's gonna be an experience trying to convert everything, all my recipes to metric and to the locally sourced ingredients, because this is what I'm doing right now. Check it out. So I couldn't find canned pumpkin yesterday, so I'm actually cooking the pumpkin now. I am usually a one pot type of girl, but that little mixer cannot withstand me putting a bunch of flour in it, so we're doing it separate. This is not really supposed to look like this. If it was a better mixer, I wouldn't do that. But as long as it sticks when I squish it together, we should be good. I'm trying to do a sort of pumpkin. So my youngest daughter asked me for sugar cookies, and my oldest for thumbprint raspberry cookies. Raspberry cream cheese cookies. So, I don't know, don't most people show their love through food? I think universally. So I feel like during holidays, it's an important time for me to like make things from scratch for them as a tradition of sorts. I'm not really big on tradition, to be honest. I like creating our own traditions, but this one, I don't know, I guess it's dear to my heart since I did it for so long. It doesn't have to be perfect, but since my hands were hot, I'm gonna stick it in the fridge. Just put saran wrap and then the dough, and then saran wrap on the top, so when I roll it, it doesn't stick to the rolling pin. So it just occurred to me that I don't have a cookie cutter, so I think I'm just gonna mold in by hand. Might be a terrible idea, but we do what we have. We do with what we have. Or let's make it into a log. And this is when things started going wrong. So these I wanted to shape into pumpkins, and of course I did a test run in the tiny little oven I have, and they turned into volcanoes. Then here, when I was making the cookie dough batter for chocolate chip cookies, again, they just went awry. Flour is super heavy on gluten, and the brown sugar has tons of molasses in it. So I basically couldn't adapt any of my recipes, and I kind of had to fix what I had created, and now we're just making do, just so we have something to do. Here are some of the failed ones. I have everything packed. I go to my friend's house to bake because I don't have an oven. So baking depends on chemical reactions. So if the flour has too much gluten or the sugar has too much molasses, it does make a difference, and it prevents it from rising properly. That's why the cookies look all like squished and kind of like shiny. So it does make a difference. So we made the best that we could, and I'm totally grateful that my friend lent me his oven so I could even attempt this. Next time, I know to get better flour. So this will be like the 10,000th time I go to the fabric store, but it kind of works out because I want to go to town center and see if they have decorated or if they're doing anything special. finally made it to the store to get more fabric because my second daughter changed her mind on what she wanted to be for Halloween. So we're starting from scratch.
So today is November 1st and we have a couple of things planned. Obviously tonight is a party. Very excited about that. Kind of missed Halloween because of all the prep work I was doing. I had 2 dresses to sew and a bunch of stuff to bake, and I had to decorate the room. But even though, as I mentioned, last year we learned a lot about Dia de los Muertos, today we're gonna go to a neighbor in town to learn a little bit more. We're running late to a tour.
So planning a tour the same day as a party was not a great idea, and I did create a costume in one night, so I am super tired. Not to mention I'm barely getting over my illness. So this was rough. Obviously, totally worth it. Look at how beautiful this is. This is how they keep their dead alive. This is how they embrace family. This is how they spend their day of remembrance. All the things we learned about how they treat their tombs, how they come visit their family members on this day, who gets to bury their dead here and who doesn't. There was just so much information that was new and exciting, and how they keep their culture alive through colonization, how they merge what they learned from colonizers with their Mayan culture. It was amazing. And their joy, happiness, and the embracing of who they are. It was beautiful. The second place we went to was completely different, even though it was only an hour away. Now, these 2 places are about 30 minutes away from San Cristobal. San Cristobal kind of being in the center of both of them. They're smaller villages. San Cristobal is considered a city, and each one has a very unique culture. Now, as you can see, their pantheon has concrete structures. Some of them are meant to resemble their homes, and it's supposed to give them a place for them to be able to be when they return. The most important part of all this was the number of flowers. Sinacantan is known for their flowers, and every single tomb had beautiful, gorgeous, fresh flowers. And the view was just breathtaking. I think this was my favorite part. It kind of gave a different dimension to being here. Now, I'm not gonna lie, by this point I was so tired, and we had one more stop, so I really was wishing that the day could just be over, but it wasn't.
So first we went to a small town in Chamula called Robedillo. Now we're in Sinacantan. Now we're gonna go see some artisans, and we get to go home and have a party.
Now, we had visited Sinacantan Center before and been to a home, but this experience was a bit different because we got to see how they dried their meat, made tortillas. We even got to try the soup that they make yearly for this special day. All in all, I'm glad that I went even though I was tired, because it was really enjoyable. And it felt embracing. Now, by the time the party came around, I was so exhausted that I may or may not have forgotten to record. So these are images I got after the party when everybody was gone. I really enjoyed like the stuff the decor that I created with the flowers, but I think my favorite part was creating the costumes. The girls were super happy with their costumes, and that really was the most special part of this holiday for me. So we invited some friends, old and new, and we had a really good time. Thanks for joining. Hope you have a wonderful night.